But Michael, you're talking about spaces to get into.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you recommend like finding the right niche, or would you recommend finding the right space? So niche as in where your competency is.
You need to find your competency. I would put that ahead of other things. Because even when Alex Hormozi got into the gym space, there were a lot of other people in the gym space.
Yeah.
So, but he's just better than other people.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no correct answer for this. Like if you legitimately can go out, Zerka, he was like, I go out and I would just pick up girls and like they'd come home with me in like 30 seconds. And I never had a girl shoot me down like ever that one time. If that's true, then Zerka needs to be a pickup coach. Like, I don't care what, that space is totally flooded.
Yeah.
But if that's true, then that's what Zerka needs to do. If you're a dude, like I would do not recommend guys get into OnlyFans management right now. That is such a saturated industry.
Yeah. And real estate too.
Yeah. But if you are a person who legit has like, you've dated like 50 super hot girls and you've got a whole bunch of super hot female friends that all have OF and they just trust you and you happen to, know some things about the algorithm, then maybe you are the guy who needs to get into the OnlyFans management agency. For most people, I wouldn't recommend getting into NFTs now. I wouldn't recommend getting into real estate now. Something like, I want to say somewhere between 15 to 25% of all real estate licenses sell 100 or like 95% of all houses, which means 75% of real estate licenses never sell a single house. That number may be wrong. It may be 85%. Yeah. It's some outrageous number.
I know a bunch. Yeah. Just in Vegas.
It's just outrageous number because you have to really put yourself in there because it's so funny because these people want to sell real estate, but they would never sell cars. Yeah. It's like selling cars is beneath them. No, I would go sell cars. Yeah. Like I would sell cars before I tried to sell real estate. You can get that job way easier. Yeah. Your clientele comes to you, you know what I'm saying? But they don't want to because being a car salesman is looked down on, being a real estate agent is looked up on. Yeah. But like learn how to sell some other stuff. And just getting into sales in general, that's the other niche. There's all the niches and then there's the sales niche. The other one is teaching guys how to become closers. Holy crap, that's a good lead. That is a really good industry. Yes. And you know what? I don't think that's flooded either. I really don't think teaching guys how to be closers is a flooded space. I think Cole is really good at it. Obviously, Closer Academy with Bradley. What's his name? Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort. Yeah, he does that. Like, there's like teaching guys. For those of you who don't understand, teaching sales, we say teaching guys how to be closers. High ticket closers is sort of like the golden goose, right? In some businesses, your closers altogether are worth more than your coaches, right? I would say that, probably. I think with me, it's a little different because my brand does bring in a lot of revenue. But the closers are like, I remember when Emmitt Smith won his first rushing title with the Dallas Cowboys, he bought all of the offensive linemen Rolex watches. That's what my closers are. My closers are the offensive linemen. For me, they're that important. Yeah. All of them together. So, that's another issue when it comes to it. But as far as the expertise, the answer is both. The answer is you either need to find a huge multi-billion-dollar niche and become an expert at that, which is going to be harder, or you can find a smaller niche where you're not going to be able to make as much money, but you can figure out a way to get into it really quick. I found one because it splits between leadership networking and dating. Those three niches have massive amounts of potential as far as revenue. Yeah. And I'm good at all three. Like I'm elite at all three. If you don't think I'm elite at all three, go take some time, look at my Instagram right now. And the other thing is having Fleischman and Ty Lopez ask me to come speak at their events. Yeah. It's incredibly flattering, but it also shows that I'm doing what I say I'm doing.
It's irrefutable.
Yeah, it's irrefutable. That's what I'm doing when I'm saying what I'm doing. I talk about speed reading and I got through Bilzerian's book. I think I got through it before almost anyone. There might have been a few people, but I got through that book in 2 days. It's 490 something pages. And I took notes on all 95 chapters. And my interview with him, again, I put it up against anybody. I have the most detailed interview anyone has ever done of Dan Bilzerian. Yeah.
So I want to pivot a little bit from that to when you talk about selling, right? This is a skill you learned. Yeah. So let's say someone has built a competency. How should they learn that skill to sell? And especially if they're not in a
selling or competency in general for coaching.
So if they're competent at a skill and they're ready to sell that to a B2C model, to a client, how should they go acquire that client?
You wanted coaching B2C?
Yeah, because they're a business, right?
Okay. So they're business. Okay. Yeah. You're correct. You're right. So B2C coaching is way more about feelings. B2B coaching or like enterprise. It's funny because I was talking to Neil about this. When you sell consulting to an enterprise, they will gouge you. They will nickel and dime you. There's a sea of lawyers that want to get every single thing in their favor. If you try to work with, I'm talking like Fortune 500, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. If you want to get to that level where you're consulting or coaching with those people, you have to be perfect because they will test you constantly to see if you're perfect. And if your competitor is 5% cheaper than you, they will take your competitor in 2 seconds. That's with enterprise. You have to be perfect. That's why I learned from Neil Patel. When it comes to B2C, unfortunately, this really sucks. Because it's really hard for me to say this, Billy, because you know the truth.
Yeah.
Like, I actually follow through with more than I even admit to following through on. Like, if you watch my ads, my program is actually better than my ads.
Yeah.
You don't see that in this space. That does not exist in this space. In this space, you see people borderline lying about what kind of returns they can get you, or how they can set up your Amazon FBA, or how they can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or how much money the returns you can make from NFTs, or any of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or come learn to sell solar with me, which solar is quickly getting saturated.
Yeah.
And in reality, if you look at the returns, they're not anywhere what they say they are. And with my program, it's actually better than I express. Like, it's actually like, if you look at the client, I have a client who's 4'11" and he's surrounded by women all the time. Like, and so for me, while I'm telling you my fulfillment, I think my fulfillment's 10 out of 10. My sales stuff is still more important. The way we market the program is still more important. And the reason why I know that is because I do one episode on Fresh and Fit and I've like doubled my revenue.
Oh, wow.
For the year. I get one, tweet back from Justin Waller and I make another 50K. Like, there's guys out there that just have huge audiences. And so does that prove that my product is better? It doesn't. But yet I make more money.
Yeah.
So like the status, the like FOMO that's created in the status, the perceived status that people see actually has more to do with how much money I make than the competency and the fulfillment. Because you trying to explain MOA is it's so, if somebody's watching us, because you've been with me for 2 years or whatever. But the guys who are watching this, they don't know how good it is. And even though I'm saying it, I just sound like another shyster charlatan. Even though I have a free course you can watch and I have 30 fucking testimonials up there where you can look at everybody's Instagram. They can't grasp it. So no matter how much I say how good the course is, it doesn't matter. But if I can show, it's what I'm trying to say is, if I do one episode on Joe Rogan, that's more important than my fulfillment.
Wow.
And I still spent more time on fulfillment.
Yeah.
Because I do 11 hours a week.
And that's, for you, that's the right thing to do.
It is. As a U.S. military officer, having integrity is more important.
Yeah.
It really is having.
But what's selling actually is the fact that you're marketing it from a feelings perspective, right?
Yeah. So with B2B, there's no feelings involved.
Yeah.
With B2C, you're going after vanity, guilt, and FOMO.
Yes.
You're hitting pain points, and it sounds manipulative because it is. But there's so many times where like you're using techniques to sell a guy into your program, but your program works. And was it a manipulative? No, because I helped the guy. Because in the end, I really did help the guy. Pain points are a really weird area because they're so effective, but you're not lying either.
Yeah.
When you hit pain points, that's real shit.
Yeah.
If I hit a pain point and I use it to sell someone, that is real. Like, none of what I said is a lie. Not even a little bit of a lie. You say, well, it's a little bit manipulative. Well, it's manipulative if my program is a scam. If my program isn't a scam, like I'll tell you, like the same thing with my girlfriend. My girlfriend right now, she was like, I like you so much that even if you're lying to me, I'm still going to give this a shot. So she happened to get lucky because I'd never lied to her.
Yeah.
But she didn't know that. She's 21 years old. She doesn't know. She could have like It was one of these things where like, I'm like, move in with me. This is going to work. And I would say things, be like, to get her to move in. But at the same time, it wasn't a scam because we're in a relationship together. We're coming up on a year and we're happy. So it was one of these things where I could have been a scam artist, but you just don't know. And so that's where things get really weird because guys who are scam artists are making more money than me. That's where it gets super frustrating. Yeah. It's like my fulfillment is better, but they're scam artists and they're making more money than me.
Just because they're better sales.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So now you get into this weird place, like, what are you willing to say? What are you willing to do? And then you can get like really fervent fans if you start talking about vaccines and aliens.
Yeah.
You can, right?
Yeah.
Joe Biden is a lizard. Like you do that.
Yeah.
And there's a certain group of people that will now really buy your program.
Yeah.
Like they're real. Oh, he understands. He's like us here in West in Kentucky. He gets the common man. Let's get rid of them foreigners. Like you do that. And then there's a certain group of people that you're going to find the self-help community, especially for men, is so hyper conservative, politically super hyper politically conservative. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that whole thing makes it's really hard to be a politically progressive man and have a coaching program. It's not easy. It's not impossible, but it's not easy. So yeah, man, that's kind of like Tony Robbins would be an example of politically progressive guy who's a coaching program. But like they're for the most part, it's hard to do that now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just kind of a weird place that we're in. So every day as a coach, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to become Skip Bayless and just basically say anything I got to say in order to generate views and leads so that I can make more money? Or am I willing to work my ass off to be more competent? That would be the Andrew Huberman, Lex Friedman model.
Yeah.
Andrew Huberman and Lex Friedman are good because they're competent.
Very competent, yeah.
Logan Paul is good because he's flamboyant.
Yeah.
So those are two different models there.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say Logan Paul is a liar, although with that NFT thing, he was lying apparently. But yeah, it's just you're always on that line. How far am I willing to go? I will tell you, like, there are ways to play within the rules and still get people's attention. That is something I teach. Pre-selection is one of my favorite ways to do that. And there are trends, and like if you use trending music on Instagram, are you manipulating people? No. So, but oh man, I like that song, and then you watch the video, like, oh, I might buy this product. Is that manipulating people? I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know what do you say there? Like all salesmen are liars, I guess. But I mean, it's just you're always on this cusp. And what I love is that we finally got to the point with my company. Like your sales team is always going to push you to just promise more because they don't care because they just want the sale. Yeah, they just want the commission. Once you get the commission, you can't claw back the commission, right? And then the fulfillment guys like me are like, hey guys, let's not $100 million a year. Let's back up on that. Let's stop saying shit like that. Yeah. Guarantee this, lifetime access that. Can we slow that down a little bit? Let's under promise and over deliver. Yeah. And you're just like living in this strange place. I will tell you this. It's easier for me to keep clients because I don't lie to them ever about anything. Yeah. So it's easier. I think I have an easier time keeping clients than some of these other people than gaining clients. And it would be easier for me to gain clients if I had 600,000 subs on YouTube. Yeah. Because I went out there and said crazy shit.
Because you said crazy shit.
Because I said crazy shit that got me those subs. So you're just, again, I'm always on this teetering line. Yeah. All the things you see me say on my Clips channel or on Instagram on my stories or my reels, all those things I believe because I approve all of them. So I take responsibility for those. So yeah, even the one where the girl said she was, the guy fucked a goat. That one was bad. That one, I had some people coming after me for that one. That was really bad.
So Michael,